Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? It is October 4th, 10:31 a.m. It took us a minute to get our stuff together. Why? We are celebrating XRP's victory. We're high-fiving. I think I sprained my elbow from high-fiving so much. How are you doing today, Rodney?
What up, DZ? Good morning. Thanks for having me again. And I think we'd ask people to like the channel and subscribe if they like being here. And where's my XRP sweater?
Morel, are you listening? Let's get this man an XRP sweater. All right, yeah, we got some huge XRP news we're going to talk about. We got some huge news in Congress we're going to talk about involving crypto. Also, some SBF stuff, of course, we're going to talk about all that. Guys, it is a jam-packed day full of news, full of bullish action, although most of the market is down. All right, let's get into the show. First, if you want to see Rodney's content, make sure you check out My Crypto Journey. Now, my problem here is, I know you did a little kickboxing. I see you punching diamonds. So, that's how you train. You punch diamonds. But why are you punching dogs?
Well, to be fair, it's just Dogecoin right there above.
It's just
floating above my head. Because go meme coins. Meme coins are the most exciting part of crypto, in my opinion.
All right, guys. He put out a bombshell video yesterday. Was Ben right with the TJ laser eyes? So pretty good video. Make sure you check that out, guys. Make sure you. Hey, if you want to see this, is it on the website yet? Do we got the hit? Woo! I can see the XRP gear. So if you want to go to Hit Merch, check that out. So we'll go to the full cam one more time here. Love this. Dripping.
I like the hat too. The hat's cool.
Yeah, the hat. I'm gonna wear the hat. DZ's gonna go back to a hat. We'll do it during the XRP segment here. All right. First, let's look at the crypto market though. We have a slight downward action. It looks like we're down about 0.7%. I kind of want to hit refresh, just make sure everything is up to date here. Yeah, 0.7%, 24-hour volume coming in slightly muted at $37 billion. Bitcoin dominance 47.7. Gas is low as heck, 12 Gwei.
Ooh.
What do you think about that low gas?
I think it's time to trade some meme coins, baby. That's what I'm waiting for,
Why are ETH transactions cheaper than a gallon of gas inside California? In fact, most states, I would say. So
thanks, Gavin.
Yeah. Oh, Thanksgiving. Yeah, people are getting ready.
Thanks, Gavin. Gavin Newsom. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Gavin. I thought you were saying Thanksgiving. Like, yeah, they're gearing up for the winter holiday travel season. I was like, maybe futures markets kind of dictate that. I don't know. All right. Yeah, thanks, Gavin, the slickest, oiliest politician there. I think he wakes up in the morning and he just spits bile and lies and then uses that to grease his hair back here. All right, let's look at Bitcoin price here. We are down 0.1%. It's largely flat. We're still above 27K. We're coming in at 27,365, 24/7. Ethereum coming in at 1632. It is down about 1%. But XRP, while it's not a 50% pump, it's not an 80% pump like we saw with the first bit of good news. It is still pumping in the markets. I think it's a number 2 or number 3 gainer in the top 100. We keep scrolling, though. Solana, not getting good news. Maybe people are looking at this SBF thing, and they're like, oh, yeah, I still have 10 Solana. Dump it. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it's because of Sam Bankman-Fried's haircut. What do you think of that? Is it like a Samson thing? He cut his hair, and Solana became weaker?
Well, I think, honestly, anything is better than that little fro he had. But I think he should get a fade, man. I don't know what's up with the little haircut, I mean, this guy goes to jail for one day, comes out with
a clean
haircut.
Fade. You got a clean fade.
Oh, come on. Show the fade.
Yeah.
Shout out to my barber.
I used to go fades, but now I just cut my own hair. I save a lot of money that way. And what do I do with that money? I buy more Bitcoin, folks. And let's see here. And a little Cardano. Speaking of Cardano, it is down 2.5% essentially here. Dogecoin also down 1.5%, probably because Rodney hit it. Polygon
100%.
is up 2.5%. But let's look at the biggest gainers. You going to have some of the coins in this big gainer?
Oh, I'm ready to rock, baby.
I'm ready. I think it's going to be Rodney's protocol here. No, it is Mina. Mina protocol is up. That is actually a coin that I have. I recommended that in Crucial Crypto newsletter there. Rollbit and XRP.
Rollbit.
How do I have the top 3 coins here? That doesn't make any sense. DZ's lucky today, folks. So maybe hit that like button and you'll be lucky tomorrow as well. Rollbit's up. Mina's up. XRP's up. Trust Wallet's up. ICP is up. Rodney, what are your thoughts on ICP?
I'm actually not, that's internet computer, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that, honestly, but I did see Trust Wallet there, and I'm actually huge on Trust Wallet. I think anything that's involved with Binance, although we know there's a lot of FUD thrown towards CZ, I think anything involved with Binance is going to be bullish in the future.
I would agree. Here, if you look at the ICP all-time chart, it's one of the ugliest charts of the newer coins, or the bigger coins at least. But if you go to the 90-day, looks a little bit better, maybe finding some sort of consolidation area, and some I'm thinking about maybe trying to get some exposure to. So shout out to the ICP. And were you ever a juggalo?
Absolutely not. No, never. No.
Did you
no
know
one's
any
a juggalo.
juggalos?
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
What were they like?
Not very, not good,
Not good. Okay, well, we don't want to
say for TV.
We don't want to chastise the ICP community, the juggalo community, the Fago drinkers. Oh God, Drew's one. That makes a lot. Drew, when's the last time you painted your face?
No, Drew. No.
Oh, God. About a year.
About a year? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I would have guessed a decade. Okay.
No.
I had no idea. Fun fact for Drew right there. All right. Now we're going to look at the biggest losers in all of crypto. I just took a sneak peek. Yeah, DZ has one of the top 5. Let's see what it is, folks. All right. Number 1, we have Radix. Radix is down 5.8%. DYDX is down 5.2%. So is EOS. But then you have Solana.
Ooh.
I have a little Solana. Solana is down 4.8%. Coming in now at $22.95, but still a 20-cent pump for the week here. Gala's down 4.7. GMX is down. Arbitrum, Decentraland, Flow, and Optimism. Have you looked at any of the metaverse tokens? Mainly Mana and Sand. Are you looking at those?
Yeah, so the argument for the metaverse is like crypto gaming and stuff like that, but we've already had different metaverses. I just don't know how good they're going to be in the future. It may have just been a lot of hype, but I do think blockchain gaming is going to be big. So shout out to Gala Games, even though they're having a little bit of inside drama right now. I do think the future is bullish for them. They have some great games.
C90, Juggalos in high school sat at the one table in the corner lamenting life and criticizing how yuck the square pizza was. I think they liked the square pizza.
Yeah.
Here's how I ate my square pizza. I'd roll up the cheese and I'd roll up the dough and I'd eat them separately.
Absolutely
Eat
not.
it like a glizzy, which you'll never see DZ do on camera, by the way. Ever. All right. Yeah, people are shocked Drew was a Juggalo. Bob from accounting his mind's blown.
Just because I know the whoop whoop and I hung out with them. I mean, was never really considered.
Yeah, guys. I just hung out with them. Like, yeah, I didn't try to kidnap the governor. I just hung out with the people that did, said the FBI.
It's allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, we're on a list now. All right, let's talk about the judge.
Woo.
All right, it's time to talk XRP one more time. Look, it's just dripping. It is dripping. I do like this merch here. Good job, Morel. Judge rejects SEC's interlocutory appeal request versus Ripple here. Specifically, Judge Torres has rejected the motion filed by the regulator on August 18th, which the SEC made a move towards making an appeal as per the court document shared by James Fillon in a post just yesterday. So breaking, they've denied the SEC's motion for an appeal here. According to the explanation, the court examined the totality of circumstances surrounding the defendant's different transactions and schemes involving the sale and distribution of XRP. Schemes just legalese there. And ultimately found that the institutional sales were sales of securities, but the programmatic sales and other distributions were not. In other words, court concluded that programmatic buyers did not have every bit of good reason to believe that defendants would take their capital contributions and use it to generate profits on their behalf. So saying the big institutional entities that they sold to directly, they had maybe some sort of I expect you to work for me, but the people buying on secondary markets, none of that existed. So this is a huge victory. Commenting on the court's decision, Jeremy Hogan explains that it means the case either goes to trial in April or goes away, as well as this order allowed the judge to explain parts of her ruling even better, making an appeal that much harder for the SEC to win, labeling the situation a disaster for the agency. The best metaphor I heard, the SEC is now trying to push a giant round turd up a mountain with a sharp pointy stick. So good luck, SEC. It is looking pretty good. Does this make you want to buy XRP, Rodney?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I know a lot of people are freaking out about XRP not absolutely sending today, but this is a huge deal. I know that Gary Gensler punching air because he keeps getting shot down now by a judge. And this is like pretty much one of the biggest hurdles for cryptocurrency going forward. So although this is not a big deal right now when it comes to price action, it's going to be a huge deal for cryptocurrency overall going into the next bull run. Okay,
and really good point. I'm actually making a short about this right now. If you see the early, I think it was July 13th, SEC first one, the partial victory here. XRP essentially doubled. It went from 45 cents, and there was a scam wick up to 90 cents for like all of 1 minute. This one, you don't even really see a pump here. I mean, if you go to the 2-week chart, you can see, all right, a little big pump right there. What was this? Was that inside information right there? I'm not saying that's the case. Just, that's what it looks like. But on the 24-hour, pretty good pump, but nothing like the almost 100% pump that we saw back in July. Why do you think there's such a huge disparity? We're talking about a 4% pump. Let's just round up and say 5. A 5% pump from a 90% pump. I mean, that is a, what are we looking at? 19x right there. So why is the pump 19 times stronger in July?
Well, because I mean, the rumor of the SEC XRP defeating the SEC was kind of a rumor forever until it actually happened. They beat him in court, except for one aspect of that lawsuit, and that was huge news right there. This is just like pretty much, it's not much of as much of a big deal, but this shows that even though the SEC is trying to resue them and try to drag this out longer in court, it's not going to work. So I think that people are already used to this news, and it's not any new news.
Yeah. And I think there was an excitement about trading, and I think a lot of that pump was from leverage trading. Catch them all. Yeah, it looks like you put in a pencil sharpener there. All right, let's go over this other huge XRP news. XRP got another victory yesterday, and this was basically getting a green light in a specific country. Let's look in here. And not only that, we're talking about Singapore, folks. We're not talking about random Pacific Island nation. We're talking about one of the crypto capitals of the entire globe. XRP price prediction is Ripple secures crypto license in Singapore. Rose higher on October 4th after the new legal victory against the SEC. Notably, Torres handed down a major blow to the SEC by rejecting their appeal. On the same day, Ripple unveiled another significant development. They secured a pivotal payments institutions license in Singapore, marking its latest step geared towards expansion into the Asia-Pacific region. Let's see. You know what? I want to say this. I'm remembering the 7-day chart. That was the party. This was the party. I'm not saying the parties, the party goers, a rumor spread, but maybe that's what that looks like. That was the Friday pump for the big New York party. Ripple continues its Asia-Pacific expansion, but what does this mean for XRP? Undoubtedly, the continued expansion into Singapore and APAC, Asia Pacific area here can only be positive development for the company and the XRP token. Here they go over the little price pump that we saw right there. Not much of a pump, a little bit, about 3.5% here. The crypto token rose more than 6.3% in the past week, and then around 4.8% in the past month, though. So a lot of good news for the XRP community. People are feeling good. They're patting themselves on the back. And not only that, it's been months of good news, which is almost suspicious after years and years of negative news there. So what will XRP do? I'm feeling better than ever. It can pass 2021's price. I will say that.
I believe so too. And I think that it's good that they're expanding over in Singapore. Because like you said, Singapore is not just a random place. And we saw Coinbase do the same. They got the green light to start operations over there. So I think this is a big deal for cryptocurrency. And unfortunately, Brian Armstrong, his prediction may be coming true. You know, with all this crazy, harsh regulatory scrutiny cryptocurrency is kind of under right now, it may force a lot of big cryptocurrency companies to be looking elsewhere to do their business. But overall, it's good because it's more accessible to more people. So good for XRP, man.
Good for XRP. Good for people remittance payments. You know, it's good for the whole Asia Pacific area. And it's good for people who, you know, really just holding on at 589. All right, guys, we're going to go to, let's see. We got Kelly in the Bit Lab. We're going to break it down to him. And guys, make sure you check out BitLab's live stream. Kelly, when does that start?
Right after Discover Crypto, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, breaking down, diving into what's going on in the markets. Of course, we cover a lot of news on Discover Crypto. We touch on that a bit, but we break down how to interact with the charts, how to figure out what's going on, the toolbox that we need. So how did you learn about crypto, DZ? Were you just ambitiously curious and diving in?
No, I was in the toilet of the internet, 4chan, and they were just talking about it a lot. 2011, 2012, when I think I first started going on that website. All from the Scientology scandal.
By the way, anybody that's curious who the hell DZ is and you want to learn more about him, I did a interview with him this last weekend. You can check it out on Discover Crypto. We really kind of dig into where he came from, what he's about, and why the heck he's hosting this channel. And I think you're doing a great job, DZ. And I had a pleasure getting to know you a bit better in that interview. Learned things I didn't even know about you.
Yeah. Started from the bottom. Now I'm here. But Kelly, the price was at the bottom. Now we're here. What does it look like for the crypto markets here?
Well, first things first, I just want to point out, I was just talking with Rodney. By the way, everybody throw a 1 in chat if you're liking Rodney on the channel. He's doing such a great job. Hit that like button. Join us here in the Discover community. We were talking about how important it is and the difference between TA and just understanding market context. Now, TA will serve you well if you are really looking into how to manage your risk and knowing that even if, for instance, a falling wedge, they're supposed to break to the upside. Well, it doesn't mean it has to. In fact, there's a lot of times, especially with these smaller crypto markets, comparatively with equities and larger global assets, that takes a lot less money to move the market and trap you. So you need to make sure, regardless of what a chart pattern says, that you understand literally, and I know a lot of newcomers hate to hear this, the market can always go either way. So you've got to be prepared and you got to be able to manage your risk. And on that note, sentiment of the market. Yeah, we're going to talk about crypto, but looking here, extreme fear right now in the broader markets. So while there has been a sort of separation of correlation between Bitcoin and stock markets off and on, it hasn't fully broken away yet. we still have to take into context where global liquidity is, what the sentiment of broader markets are, because that will, it won't necessarily mean if the stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down, but at minimum, it will suggest that if the capital is flowing out of risk, then it also will have at least some suppressive factor on crypto markets. So we just want to pay attention to this. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out before we dive into the charts is reminding everybody that Bitcoin has operated, whether or not it's absolutely because of the halving or not, has operated on a 4-year cycle, which realistically is about 3 years and 10 months. And these are the last 3 cycles going into the halving. And we're basically right on target for where we should be. These are the last 2 cycles. And look, we had these all-time highs, we had the lows in the same sort of spot, and we're just kind of trading this chop zone, which is meant to take your liquidity if you're not using healthy strategy into this next halving. So we just want to pay attention to that. Now, diving in a little bit further, I do want to show this on-chain chart. If you're wondering, what is smart money doing? People that have longer term vision. Well, we can see that this is the net position change, similar like we would see exchange net position change, but this is specifically targeting hodlers. So, DZ, do you dive into on-chain at all, or is it just when I come on here and share charts with you? Do you pay attention to this sort of stuff?
No, I love some Glassnode charts. I love the Newpol. I love the net exchange outflows, inflows, all that good stuff. But Kelly, I get my fix from you. You know what I mean? You're all I need when it comes to that.
Oh, well, I'm here for you, darling. Now let's go ahead and continue on. The hodlers, the point of this chart is showing that hodlers are increasing their position. They are buying into the sort of undeterminable uncertainty zone for what retail feels. It feels like we don't know what's going to happen. But when you look out at this market, we can see historically what has happened. This is a halving. This is the next halving over here. What happens? Look, each time we have a halving, we get a large explosion in price. Of course, early. This is the earliest, the furthest back cycle, the first halving. And of course, this moved much more quickly because there was a lot less, the market cap was a lot smaller, so it took a lot less monetary energy to move it. And this is going to be a continuing trend as the market gets larger, especially when we get Bitcoin spot ETFs and institutions coming in. So looking at the markets fairly quickly here, I just want to point out this chart right here because everybody wants to know. Throw a 1 in chat right now if you love altcoins. Okay, so there's some Bitcoin maximalists, sure, but let's be honest, a lot of people are trying to chase the gains that you can outpace Bitcoin with. Well, we have to understand that Bitcoin is the least risk asset within the crypto ecosystem, and altcoins can give you explosive gains, but it's all about timing. And looking at this, we had this all-time high back here in this long, almost consolidation period. If we throw on the chart here, yes, falling wedge, supposed to break to the upside. It has. But if we zoom into this, I just want to point out something here. If we zoom into this, let's get down to like the 8-hour chart. We've kind of entered a trading range here, or a range in valuation with the altcoin market. And we came up right to this previous lows and this downtrend resistance, larger downtrend resistance, rejected. Now, the question is going to be, if you're looking to scale or capital flow into altcoins and not Bitcoin currently, then we're kind of in a zone it's not really clear which directions it's going to go. It's looking, 1, like it's sideways, and 2, rejected here, support here. If we lose this support, this is a pretty large fall for altcoins. Yes, it shows 5%, but let's be honest, the larger market cap coins are not going to have a drastic fall, whereas the small coins that everybody's chasing those gains on can have 20, 30, 40, 50% a drop. So we got to pay attention to what happens here with the altcoin market. Now, looking over here at Bitcoin, we're still obviously within this zone that we talked about yesterday. And do I think this is going to chop in all the way here to, as we identified yesterday on October 20th? It's hard to say because, you have wins like today or yesterday with XRP in the appeal. It does buoy the market somewhat. However, that's one asset, and there's still all of this negative pressure on the markets as we outlined here. So we've got to pay attention to this. Now, if we zoom into this on the 4-hour chart, I want you to just notice something here. Zooming out here. Sorry, let me actually go to the 8-hour chart. Zooming out here. Look at on the BitLab trading stack. This is the volume. Look at all of this, the delta here in terms of, is it more buying or more selling? when we zoom out here, there's a lot of selling that was directly above us. There we go. A lot of selling volume directly above us, and there is some buying volume primarily below us. So this does give me a little bit more of an idea that this may chop in the zone, which is actually great. Don't get frustrated that it's not just pushing up. Use this time to find opportunities to stack in, to be prepared for when this happens and moves to the upside. So as it stands right now, my final sort of thesis on this right now is I do think that we are going to test down into this line, this support line, which is basically about 26.8, 26.7. If we lose this line, then we're going to be looking at coming back down here to 25,000. If we're able to hold anywhere up here, then we still have all this sort of selling pressure right above us. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. Did the XRP story reignite that fire in you? Are you more bullish or less bullish right now for Bitcoin and the broader market now?
I'll tell you this, it really isn't
Rodney,
changing my macro. It isn't changing my macro, bullish nature, bearish nature. I'm still thinking 15.5 was the bottom. I still think, we're going to be setting up mostly in line with the 4-year cycle. Here's what it's actually going to do for me, though. I'm probably going to buy more XRP for the first time since 2021. I know I could have got it in cheaper. I know it might not even be the best news, but someone in the chat kind of put it up well. Metaspawn, today's XRP news seems bigger than last time, but market makers will do as they please. I wouldn't say it's bigger news, but it's definitely comparable. It doesn't make sense for the last pump to be 19x this pump, so I feel a little bit better. And so whenever I do my KuCoin swapping, I got some coins just sitting there on KuCoin. Whenever I end up doing that, maybe I'll go ahead and get some more XRP.
I think I can't believe I didn't do this. We need to actually pull up the XRP chart and just take a look at what's going on here, because the price action, it did explode overnight. But did it really? This is that news here. And it came right into a known level. And the interesting thing about this level, this was previous support. And all we've currently done with that pump is come up and retested this as resistance. So until we break through, and I wouldn't even call it this line, I call it this previous high, 54 cents. Until we break through 54 cents, consider sort of a risk managed approach to this, because the fact that we have not been able to really close candles above this and find support does give me a little bit of, I don't want to say uncertainty, but it makes me focus on risk a little bit more. Now, if you want to learn more about all this stuff, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy. We got all kind of courses and the community and the Discord. So check us out. We're going to be live 11:30 a.m. right after this, so you can find all that information. And I appreciate you having me on. Rodney, you're doing a great job. DZ,
thank you.
Wonderful as ever.
Everybody.
Hey guys, make sure you check out his live stream starting at 11:30, BitLab Academy with Kelly. Kelly, thank you very much.
And this makes me like more bullish altogether. I think so. I think the SEC has been a huge thorn in the side of cryptocurrency. I mean, they're trying to save cryptocurrency, but they miss Voyager, Celsius, Terra Luna, and of course FTX. But they're going after Binance, XRP, and of course Coinbase. So I think this is a huge hurdle for the entire cryptocurrency world just to get over. So although it's not bullish short term, extremely bullish long term. And this prolonged bear market has given the average Joe with the 2-week paycheck the slowly dollar cost average into the favorite cryptocurrency. So bear market, not all bad.
Yeah, not all bad. And you don't feel as much fear in the streets. When you're buying some alts when Bitcoin was under 20K, you're just like, is it going to be over? You're buying with stress. Right now, I feel like, you're buying with a little bit more comfortable just vibes going on. All right, guys, this is the XRP hat. I just wanted to wear, supposed to wear it during the XRP segment. DZ dropped the ball as he drops the hat off the desk. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin here. The Bitcoin whales. What are the Bitcoin whales doing? Me and Rodney about to break this down. The sharks and whales gobble $1.1 billion in Bitcoin in about a month, according to Sentiment here. These are the large Bitcoin holders. They've been scooping up since the beginning of September here. Looks like so the sharks and whales, these are people with between 10 and 10,000 Bitcoin, and they've accumulated over $1 billion so far. Not everyone agrees with the Sentiment's analysis, however. Willie Woo recently told his followers on X that buying up the inventory of Bitcoin on exchanges won't actually help boost the asset's price. This is a fallacy. This happened all through the 22 bear. There's no supply shock because synthetic Bitcoin via futures markets added to the inventory. The market made a bottom while futures markets relented. If an investor wants to buy exposure to Bitcoin, they can now buy a futures ETF that doesn't create a supply shock, because these are just paper bets on price going up. Hedge fund could take the other side of the bet. You minted a new synthetic Bitcoin, and the limit on this is infinite. I would agree. Basically, he's saying it's going to be no supply shock because everyone's just trading futures. And trading futures, is going to outweigh the volume coming from people just buying and hodling and putting it in a wallet. I would agree with that, but I kind of disagree with the sentiment. I do feel there is a possibility for a supply shock. It looks like we came close to it during the bank collapses of 22.
Yeah.
And I think if everybody took their Bitcoin off exchanges, it would be up 10K in a day. But it's just, you're not going to be able to do it. Byzantinian general's problem, you know?
Yeah, I mean, smart money's buying the dip right now. They're loading up on Bitcoin because there's something they see. And, you know, compared to a lot of people, I think I'd like to follow what the big dogs are doing, right? They're bullish on Bitcoin. They're bullish on the future of cryptocurrency. And obviously, crypto lives and dies on Bitcoin. And the exchange, the amount of Bitcoin the exchanges have, I think that it goes to show how smart people are getting in the space. They're sending their crypto to non-custodial wallets, so they don't have to worry about something going bankrupt and them losing all of their Bitcoin. Like that story we saw yesterday. Guy lost $2 million in FTX and he's like, yeah, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. It's a centralization issue. So smart money buying the dip. And I think that, you know, a lot of people will do the same.
Yeah, not only that, there's a percentage of people who get burnt by an alt who become a Bitcoin maxi.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that number is, but there's definitely some percentage. All right, hey, we got Blood in the house. What's going on, Blood? Blood, you bleeding out. Blink twice. We'll send help. Well, you know, who knows? Detroit, you know, not as bad as Chicago or Philadelphia lately, but hey, you know, Detroit what?
They look good. Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Oh, no. Yeah, you meant the team, the football team. Okay. I'm over here tripping. I'm over thinking about NFL. No, I've never been.
I used to be a Barry Sanders fan, so that's about the extent of my Lions knowledge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're good this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Go Lions.
All right.
Yeah.
I was an old school Cowboys fan. I know this just made a high percentage of you hate me.
But
I was from Texas, and I was actually an Oilers fan.
Ooh.
And then Bud Adams moved the team to Tennessee, and I was just a man without a country. I felt like Tom Hanks inside the airport. You know, I had nothing. I had nobody. And then I saw a shining example with the crack-smoking wide receiver, Michael Irvin. And I said, this is a team I can get behind. All right. No, I was a big fan of Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman. All right. Deion Sanders, too. All right. Let's talk about Bitcoin miners here. Bitcoin miners brace for increased challenge as network difficulty hits new high of 57 trillion. I don't want to get into the weeds of the block heights and the present value, but essentially it has never been harder to mine Bitcoin. This is a trend that's going to continue as the graphics cards or just the mining chips get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. But oftentimes it ebbs and flows where people turn off their machines, turn on their machines. Right now, Bitcoin network has never been more secure. Makes me feel very bullish. We're getting a lot of big bullish macro stories, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, the competition is getting a little crazy out there for miners. And you know what's crazy? I think a lot's really going to change during this next presidential election. Not too long ago, I know Mr. Biden wanted to impose some sort of 30% tax on crypto miners or something like that. So I'm excited to see what happens if we get a new president and new administration in there when it comes to the future of cryptocurrency and even something like mining or something like that.
You want though to guess who versus whom?
Ooh,
I want to say I'm feeling like Gavin versus Orange Man.
Oh,
I
really?
prefer RFK. I want RFK versus Vivek. I mean, I don't think that happens.
Well, RFK bought he has 7 kids, which I didn't know that, but he bought 2 of them Bitcoin, and he wants to back the dollar.
No, but I believe he bought all of them. 2 Bitcoin a piece.
Yeah, all of them 2 Bitcoin. Yeah, so 14. Yeah. And then he wanted to back the dollar with Bitcoin because it's backed by Trust Me Bro. And he wants to make Bitcoin transactions tax-free or cashing out Bitcoin tax-free. So that's pretty sweet.
I thought you were saying he gave 2 of his favorite kids Bitcoin.
No,
and the other ones
all
was
of them,
you know, that's like the Hunter Biden
Smart
style
man.
son. This is the good son. This is the Jeb Bush. This is the George Bush,
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Bitcoin congestion. So we're talking about the mining. Well, what is this doing for Bitcoin congestion? Because more miners turn on the machines. It's going to be pulling people into these blocks just a little bit more efficiently. Bitcoin congestion is no more. Bitcoin network reaches record lows on pending transactions here. So there were very expensive transaction fees being charged from Bitcoin holders moving their coins, mostly going to be due to the ordinal protocol there. However, things started to change. At the time of publication, Finbold showing a 6-month low for the number of pending transactions on the network with only 31,000 transactions waiting in line. If you're wondering how this happens, it's everyone has to pay, let's just throw out a round number. Everyone has to pay $1 to move some Bitcoin. And then you got that cheap guy. He's like, I got 80 cents. And then that ends up just sitting there for a few blocks. And then you got the guy who's like, I got a penny on it. And it's just, he might sit there for months or weeks. I don't think I've ever downloaded a Bitcoin just Sol wallet. I've only sent Bitcoin via exchanges. And that kind of feels, I don't feel like a true crypto head. Have you ever downloaded a Bitcoin wallet? I've downloaded mining wallets and other wallets and, command line wallets, but never Bitcoin. What about you?
Well, that's why the Lightning Network is good because it makes it I guess a little more practical if you're using it to actually buy things. And that's why I think cryptocurrency, especially like Bitcoin, is not really a currency. It's more like store of value because can you imagine waiting in line to pay for something for 3 years? and the price of Bitcoin fluctuating like crazy. But no, I don't really use crypto like that. So I just use it really, to just, some sort of valuable, item to kind of increase in value over time. So no.
Let's see. If you were to invest in something not crypto, what's Rodney going with?
Oh, I mean, I would just go with all that, it's pick my own. I wouldn't even do like a index fund or anything like that. I'd just pick my own, maybe tech stocks, I'd say.
That's what I did.
Yeah, something
and
just
I had great luck with that. I
tried
ended
and
up having to
true.
sell a lot in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Should have bought it. Oh man, I had all the good ones. But yeah, I too.
Yeah.
I think I would go with tech stocks.
Well, hindsight's always 20/20, and people think the prices of these stocks are too high right now. But like, what about in 10 years? Like maybe they're not too high. So
yeah, and I mean, I see Amazon just getting bigger and bigger.
Oh,
not
yeah,
smaller. Same thing for Tesla. Army Piper put me on Hit Network 24/7. LOL. Army Piper, you're always welcome. All right, now it is time to talk about the crypto Congress. A lot of it's been happening lately. Patrick McHenry, we got gavels getting slammed. We got people getting ousted. We got hidden antechamber rooms that are used by Pelosi. There's all types of intrigue going on, folks. Crypto-friendly Congressman McHenry, this is Patrick McHenry, I believe North Carolina, temporarily takes over the U.S. House. He's a staunch advocate for crypto industry regulation, and he found himself as the stand-in Speaker of the House as crypto bills head towards the floor. If you're wondering, Speaker of the House is the third in line for the president. So after the president, then you have the vice president. After vice president, it is Speaker of the House. Followed by that is the head of the Senate here. Then I think we go into the, if I remember my civics class correctly, into the cabinet and Secretary of State. I don't know. Maybe someone fact check me. All right, let's talk about House Republicans here. He landed in the driver's seat just as legislation to establish regulations nears a finish line here. And while the Republicans seek a permanent replacement for just ousted Speaker of the House McCarthy, McHenry will serve as the temporary replacement. The chairman of the House Financial Services Committee has been hard at work since last year on a number of crypto bills, and having McHenry in a leadership role over the entire House can't hurt their progress.
Ooh.
One bill would be guardrails for stablecoins, and another that would establish rules for crypto markets cleared his committee, are expected to be brought up for floor votes as soon as next month. That's pretty big news, folks. This is very big news.
Yes, it's huge.
And he's a discordant Republican caucus in the House. We'll try to find a permanent speaker. It's a painful process that took 15 rounds of voting to put McCarthy in the role. I do remember that. Looks like people are floating Tom Emmer from Minnesota as a possible successor, which also would be a major win for crypto.
Yes.
So still, after Tuesday's dramatic and unprecedented ouster of McCarthy, it is uncertain how long Republicans will take to choose a new leader. The House almost immediately faces the next round of budget debates that will determine whether Congress can keep the federal government open for business. Shutdown will already slow the already sluggish pace of policymaking in Washington. We've covered this. SEC, if there's a shutdown, loses 90% of its staff. CFTC loses 90% of its staff. So, probably not a lot of enforcement action is going to be happening at that time. Now, what are your thoughts on this whole House debacle thing? I know American politics is a little crazy and lame sometimes, but
yeah, I remember my old math teachers say poly equals many, ticks equals blood-sucking insects. And if you're, if you're McHenry, you're pretty much lead babysitter. You know what I mean? But this is good. We have pro-crypto people right now running the show, at least temporarily. And my favorite thing to do has been seeing McHenry and Emmer like take shots at No, not tequila shots, but take shots at Gary Gensler, and just grill him because, I mean, look at it. He spent all this money and time suing XRP just to lose. I mean, that's a bunch of money being wasted. So maybe a government shutdown, not so bad. But what I did notice is that I don't think there's any Ukraine funding in that next funding bill, which may help with the inflation. So
yeah, and a very controversial representative is partially responsible. Matt Gaetz. Every time I say his name, chat goes a little bit crazy. He's from Florida, and essentially he was saying too many omnibus bills, meaning where they lump everything together, and on the 800th page it's just full of pork.
Yep.
He wants single issue legislation instead of, we have to loop everything together and we inject some Ukraine stuff, we inject some pork, we inject some, some other rules and some other controls. And, if you don't vote for this, you just want to kill Americans. He's tired of that. And basically you said, hey, you promised to do that and you lied. You haven't done that. So get out of the seat is what they said. All right. Well, let's talk about Yellen. What do you got over there, Drew? For
Did you see Nancy Pelosi was in the speaker of the House's office?
Yeah,
for
he's
the
in
last
his private
months?
antechamber.
wild.
They left her in there for 9 months, and then McHenry went and kicked her out, rolled all of her garbage out into the hallway. It was
Love it.
fantastic to see.
And she complained about it. Here's my response to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get her out of here.
All right. Let's talk about Janet Yellen here. U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen comments on the interest rate decisions. In her latest statement, she talked about the future interest rates decisions here. She expressed optimism for the outlook of the U.S. economy. In a recent statement, she says she's very optimistic about the future of the economy, saying it will be a 1%, talking about debt servicing costs will only be 1% of GDP over the next decade. Yeah, right. It just makes me laugh. She reiterated that real net interest payments relative to GDP were normal, and that forecast for debt costs predicted a decline in interest rates. Sure, lady. On international relations, she does not believe the U.S. should move away from China. However, she expressed concern over the overdependence on China in matters of national welfare. I'm guessing because they're manufacturing, I assume.
Yeah.
They make a lot of our medication still and a lot like that. So that would be my guess. And cheap socks and other things. Now, what are your thoughts on Yellen?
You don't say. We should be more autonomous. We should stop relying on other countries for things. You don't say. I don't know. Maybe a person has echoed that sentiment. But first of all, she looks like a very nice grandma. You know, I like Janet Yellen. She just gives me good vibes. Not sure how she is, but she gives me good vibes. But, you know, interesting, because if you think about what the Federal Reserve has been doing, they have been doing a good job on fighting inflation, at least with the numbers they're giving us. So whether they decide to raise or not raise or anything like that in the future is going to be interesting. It's just hard to believe, like, and have any sort of optimism when you see what's going on around us. Like, inflation's high. It's hard to live anywhere without a roommate for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, just cost of living, cost of food. And, you know, just different things like that. You know, student loan debt's picking back up. You have to start paying that again. Credit card debt's, you know, all-time high. U.S. debt, $33 trillion. It's like, you know, I don't know about all that. But they got to say what they got to say right now to make the current administration look good, in my opinion.
Can you go back to Janet Yellen's picture? I'm going to tell you, this is the sentence I see her selling.
She's a nice little grandma.
But you don't have a permit to sell lemonade.
Janet Karen.
Right, yeah, a little bit. All right, let's talk about the Treasury, more Treasury yield stuff. Treasury yields hit new high as bonds extend the losses here. Bond yields on both sides touched their highest level for more than a decade on Wednesday as a sell-off in global fixed income continued. Yields on the benchmark 10-year Treasury rose 0.1017 percentage points and touched 4.88%. Looks like it bumped up 17 bips there. This is the highest level since 2007 before slipping back to trade marginally higher on the day. German is also up, touching 3% for the first time since 2011 before nudging a little bit lower. Moves deep in a sell-off that began after the Fed insistence last month that rates would be kept higher for longer. It was then further fueled by a flurry of better than expected jobs and manufacturing data as investors priced in relatively benign economic outlook. Investors expect U.S. rates to continue to grind higher as investors require premium for owning long-term bonds in addition to expectations for their rate. Well, me and Rodney were talking about this ahead of time. Essentially, as yield rates get a little bit higher, there's going to be more attractive, super safe options. I give you $100, and you're going to give me 5% a year per year. Okay, that seems, you know, relatively risk-free unless, what were you saying, Drew, about the Reagan? It's relatively risk-free unless the Reagan, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of interest in making sure that outside nations like Japan and China continue to hold the U.S. treasuries in their holdings, backing up their own country. They're dumping it, though, so that's kind of where we get into the macroeconomic reasonings for how dare they park their country next to our aircraft carrier.
Yeah, how dare they? So you have rich people, they have $100. Well, if I give you $100, you only give me $1 a year. I'm going to look elsewhere. I'm going to look for something riskier. Well, if you give me $5 for my $100, well, now I'm less likely to look for a risky asset. So, I mean, is this spelling doom for Bitcoin if we're higher than for longer?
Well, I think that in a risky, in a risky space like cryptocurrency, because come on, it's risky. I mean, we've had blue chip projects literally pull the rug underneath all of us. And in this risky space, the safest thing is Bitcoin. And I think that's the reason why we've seen Bitcoin dominance climb higher. It's because people are parking their money in the safest cryptocurrency and in the cryptocurrency that pretty much if it goes away, then cryptocurrency goes away. So in my opinion, so obviously economy bad, risky assets, no.
Yeah, not looking great. But you know what? To me, Bitcoin isn't risky, folks. Of course it's risky. Of course it's risky, but not that risky. All right, let's this is a shocking fact. All right, so U.S. debt, it accumulates every single day.
Bullish.
Every single day, it climbs by half of Bitcoin's market cap, folks. We're not talking about, oh yeah, it climbs like 10,000 Bitcoin. Guys, we're talking about how many are floating around 19 million. Every day, the debt climbs 9.5 million Bitcoin. Let me say that one more time. Every day, every 24 hours, the U.S. government debt grows by 9.5 million Bitcoin. Does that sound like they know what they're doing? Does that sound like they're running a smooth operation? It sounds like they're driving us straight off a cliff. That's what it sounds like to me. Does that piss you off?
I mean, these guys are giving us a credit score, so that's awkward. You know, that's kind of awkward that these
A little
guys.
bit awkward. Yeah. I mean, how am I in the 700s?
Yeah, what? What?
Yeah. I feel like every American should just like, no one's going above 500.
Yeah, geez.
All right, well, let's talk about the debt here. So let's look at some of the numbers. So the U.S. Debt grew by $275 billion in one day, increasing to a record high of $33.4 trillion. In comparison, the total market cap of Bitcoin is $500 billion. So half of Bitcoin's market cap is what the debt is growing daily. This is according to observations shared by the CEO of Pixamatic and Jan3, Samson Moe, in an X post on the 4th. Indeed, they're the strategists behind El Salvador's project of Bitcoin bonds, noted the epic U.S. debt roughly equals 10 million Bitcoin, and yet there are still people that are unsure if 27K is a good price to buy, referring to the value of the DeFi, according to the value of the crypto asset as of press time. So it's not looking good. It definitely makes me more bullish on Bitcoin, makes me more bearish on the U.S. government. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin will prevail, I think, over all government. So that just kind of fits in my overall thesis anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, in a time right now, you know, I'm reading this little part, the end part of it, like Robert
Kiyosaki?
Yeah, Kiyosaki.
He's predicted 7 of the last recessions.
Yeah, and he's talking about
the last 2.
How even right now, Bitcoin's price is like a super cheap investment. And I know it seems crazy to a lot of people, but that's just the psychology of the game. I mean, it's $60,000 Bitcoin. Everyone's buying. Everyone's happy. Now it's at 20, something K, and everyone's like, I don't want to touch it. It's risky. So hindsight's always 2020. This could be the hindsight that we're talking about here in a couple of years.
Yeah. Hindsight is 2020. Yep. How are you going to feel about the 2030 version? Are they going to be mad about the amount of Bitcoin that you bought in 2023? Probably.
100%.
Did you need that lobster Benedict? No,
absolutely.
You could have ate ramen.
No, I needed the lobster Benedict. Yeah,
okay.
100%.
I mean, it is pretty good. I had one over the weekend. That's why I said it. All right. Should have bought Bitcoin. All right, let's talk about, it's time to talk about SBF day one. We have the court sketches too, I believe here. CEO risked 150 years in prison term as the fraud trial begins here. In a recent tweet, influencer named Andrew basically claimed to have received new information concerning the court proceedings. He reported that the prosecution has revealed Bankman was never offered a plea deal.
Ooh.
That is not a good sign if you're a defendant. Meanwhile, in a separate conversation thread, CoffeeZilla unearthed a staggering amount of money a prominent promoter of FTX received from the disgraced CEO. We are talking about someone. I have a story about Kevin O'Leary. I'm going to share after this article with you, Rod. I actually was on Kevin O'Leary's show.
No way.
Yeah, talking about Pluto Alliance and Mutant Apes.
Wow. Okay.
CoffeeZilla disclosed that the millionaire Shark Tank personality Kevin O'Leary was paid nearly $1 million per an hour to promote and defend SBF. Guys, we're not talking about he got $1 million in a year. $1 million per an hour. That's like what Arnold Schwarzenegger would make for a Japanese commercial in the late 90s. This is serious money. This is a George Clooney coffee ad. Let's see. Interestingly, O'Leary was asked during an interview if he would back Bankman-Fried once again. He stated, yes. Come on, Kevin. So I did. They had a show called Money Court. Him and one of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I forget her name right now, but yeah, they had a Money Court show, and we had to stand in front of them. It was filmed similar to Shark Tank. Like we'd come around the wall, and we're like, dun, 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 dun. And then we sit and like I'm standing here, Justin Williams right there, and we're like pleading our case, and then they like ruled on it. And we like signed some paperwork. We had to like actually listen to what they said and do what they said, and it was a fun experience. The guy's sharp.
For $15 million an hour, I will do anything. Like, what are you talking about? I'll go, it's whatever you want. $15 million an hour. I get you, Kevin O'Leary. I understand. Don't like the red glasses, but I understand. That's an interesting situation because, no plea deal, which means their case against him is ironclad. And the fact that, Gary Huang and Caroline flipped on him so quick, I think that's very telling. So they're trying to really stick it to this guy, which I think is good.
Yeah, and Sam Trabucco, I believe being the first one to roll over. He was the head legal. He probably is the one who just painted the whole scenario. And they just slowly and surely just made that little pyramid with SBF at the top. Well, actually at the top is Joseph and Barbara, his parents. But, basically the head of the snake was SBF there. All right, well, we're going to talk about the jurors here. At least 3 of them had to recuse themselves. Why? They bought Doge at the top. I don't know. Probably, right? Probably. Let's look here. So the trial is going to extend in a second day with a pool of qualified jurors now narrowed down to 50, from which 12 will be selected this morning, actually. Judge asked the jurors if any were familiar with FTX or Alameda Research, know that the case would involve crypto and blockchain. 2 of them admitted having invested in the asset class only to lose money.
Yeah.
Well, they should have done jury selection in November 21. They would have been in the green. Other disclosed more career ties to financial industry here. Let's see. He's talking about the collapse generated a lot of publicity and told jurors avoid all media coverage of the trial. They also asked them if they're familiar with any of the major names: Caroline Ellison, Silvergate. One juror said they actually worked for the fallen bank. Kaplan also asked the jurors if they had watched a CBS episode of 60 Minutes in which Michael Lewis fangirled over SBF and dismissed notions that it was a Ponzi scheme. He also was very vague and intentionally misleading, talking about the $8 billion that was missing. He just made it seem like, yeah, he just moved it to Alameda. That's all he did. No, then they spent it. He just very quickly brushes over that fact. And he also leans in on the Mitch McConnell angle, which they gave Mitch McConnell $1 million. Well, he was Biden's second biggest supporter. So yeah, the whole 60 Minutes thing was very just much like propaganda. I couldn't even really follow it. I was getting angry. I was shaking my fist like an old man. And when one juror complained he didn't understand crypto, the judge wasn't sympathetic. You probably have a lot of company in this courtroom. Ha, ha, ha. We don't get it either. Would you want to be on the jury?
Well, yes, one, but they shouldn't. I think they should select 12 people who lost money in FTX. Maybe they'll give us the outcome we want. But I think it's probably better that they don't know much about crypto, because it is crypto, yeah, but it's like just overall general fraud. Like he just did some evil things. The situation's extremely insane to me. And I mean, the reasons why they're not picking some of these people is interesting, but I just think that honestly, if they don't know much about crypto, I think that'd probably be better for them. And who stays away from the media? Like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, like who wasn't watching that?
Mostly people in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Right. So I think you need a rural juror. Say that.
Yeah.
Say rural juror.
Rural juror.
Say it 3 times, chat. Say it at home. It is fun to roll off. They need these people that live kind of in the sticks and BDE, boom, BFE. So they need more rural jurors. Rural jurors.
Yes.
Say the phrase rural juror to someone and ask them, do you know what I just said? Say it at home. It feels good. Drew, will you say it?
Rural jurors. And are you saying
rural juror?
Nailed it.
Country
rural
boy,
juror. This came from 30
can
Rock,
decide,
by the way.
baby.
I didn't make that up.
Everyone's
It was
losing
a
brain
movie
cells right
name from the show 30 Rock. Very well written by Tina Fey.
Mm.
Also, Childish Gambino was a writer on that show.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's show off the slightly shorter haircut there. He looks like he does fencing in the 18th century in Spain, but he's wearing like a modern suit. It's a little bit of a Benicio del Toro in his late 20s vibe.
He watched Get Hard. He definitely did. Look at that.
I definitely watched Get Hard. He definitely watched the one starring Jamie Lannister, where I forget what that one is called. He also he like did a accidental vehicular homicide, and then he had to like basically toughen up. I'd be watching Blood In, Blood Out. I'd be watching all those movies. Of course, I would have showed up to court jacked. I would have been. I would have had traps. I would have had Popeye forearm. I would have been ready.
Smoking a cigar.
Yes, actually, no. I mean, if I'm going to jail, I just got to smoke cigarettes, like Filipino cigarettes. Just flick them, I flick them at the reporters. All right, let's talk about Caroline.
Oh yeah,
the salacious detail of the story here. Caroline Ellison and SBF's relationship details unveiled in salacious memos, causing a stir in in the crypto community. I didn't know where the stir was. She pled guilty to fraud charges. Could be the most impactful witness. Definitely going to be the most exciting. And he's advised not to testify in his defense, but it remains unclear whether he will heed it. I think he's going to testify while playing League of Legends simultaneously. Maybe he'll get out of bronze. On the 4th, researcher Molly White shared memos between SBF and his girlfriend at the time. Before he had to worry about potentially spending decades behind bars, he was mulling over whether to continue his relationship with Ellison. He was analytical, even when it came to relationships. He made a spreadsheet of, I don't know if it was a spreadsheet. He compiled a list of pros and cons about dating the former head back in 2018. His arguments against far outweighed the ones for. A lot concerned his own inner conflicts. This could destroy Alameda if it goes really poorly PR-wise. He also wondered, it's a pretty decent argument that my empathy is fake. My feelings are fake. My facial reactions are fake. I don't know happiness. What's the point in dating someone when you physically can't make happy, who you can't make happy there? What do they say when you take a lot of amphetamines? You maybe have some similar issues. Or, I'm not saying that's the situation here. I'm just, from it seems to be the observation I'm experiencing here.
It seems like Sam Bankman-Fried was simping for this girl so hard. He's just like, let me just give her an entire company. Then she'll like me.
And a polycule.
Yeah, just absolutely insane. And this guy he can't help himself. Like he's going to talk to people. He's going to do outrageous things. This is the same guy who took her private diary to the New York Times for a story. after contacting people about it like 100 times. Allegedly, we heard from like CoffeeZilla. That's insane, and that's petty to a whole new level. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that he was kind of maybe standing for her and she didn't like him. And he's like, "Oh, here's a company, here's money, I'll give you everything," and turns on him in the first week. So there's that.
SBF equals Ross from Friends. Have you seen the Ross without a laugh track?
I have not. No.
Those are some very, very spooky things there. He's essentially just real creepy, and it's 90s vibes. It's pre-Me Too. You take away the laugh track, and he's a stalking, disgusting being. Let's see. I love the name. Objectively Real Reality. Objectively paying a quadrillion in interest per year at that rate. Let's see. And there's one by C90. Oh, yeah. Rural Juror. Sounds like I just left the dentist. Yeah, pretty close there.
I'm bullish on the rural jurors, though. Country boys can decide.
I mean, that's the one keeping us from, let's just say, from too much control being yoked over us here. Speaking of yoked, here's SBF, another sketch room drawing there. It looks like a little bit like Mind Your Biz there. Oh, wait, no, there's like long hair in the back. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see a little bit of shoulders there.
Yeah.
Maybe some lifts.
Sam.
You've been working
Sam, yeah.
All right.
Take a little break from League of Legends.
All right. Plea offers, this is kind of what we were saying earlier. The plea offers never on the table for Sam Bankman-Fried. I think this just basically signals they want to make an example out of him. Yeah. Why do they want to make an example out of him? They want to distance themselves from the dirty money that he gave everybody. Yeah. Will it work? It'll work for dumb people.
What's great? Congress may have to subpoena, Gare Bear because he won't give over private, or some kind of interactions he had with, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. That's going to be interesting if they have to do that. I wonder who else is involved, and I wonder who's actually going to cover the story. How are you 60 Minutes and not mention the second largest donor to Biden? That's like the main headline.
Well, because they're owned by the first
propaganda.
Yeah, they're owned by the fourth department of the government. It's what smart people say. I don't say that. I'm not saying that, but smart people have said they're just fully captured by that fourth department of the government, along with the Atlantic, Rolling Stone, a few other of the major names that just basically, parrot what they are being told to say here. He tried buying the Bahamas for her, the whole damn island. C90, that sounds like romance to me. Yeah. Is he really a romance at heart here? SBF follows Hoodville. Is that a little scrappy? Right? That's a little scrappy album. Let's see here. Pillowhead needs a fade. Just show the clean fade one more time. That's what he needs.
I got you, Sam. I got a barber in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hey, man, he's going to send them your way. All right, let's talk about this huge amount of Bitcoin. A record amount of Bitcoin just hit Kraken's exchange balance. When you see the spike, it's going to be pretty scary here. Large amount has just entered Kraken in the past day. They had an inflow of 15,000 Bitcoin. Someone want to do the math. What is 15K times 27K?
14 million.
27, 30, 40. I don't know. I'm not going to do live math on the stream because it took me probably about 5 more seconds. I don't want to bore you guys here. As is visible from the graph, the Bitcoin exchange inflow for Kraken has surged to extremely high levels in the past day. 15, dang it, said it right there. 15,000 worth roughly 410 million. Look at that spike, folks. Look at that spike. That is an insane spike. Nothing has even come close. I mean, it looks like maybe fairly close right here. We're going to cover this story a little bit more closely. We want to make sure this isn't just exchange. Moving wallets around could be a potential situation there. So, maybe something to keep an eye out on because that is a lot of Bitcoin, folks. Coinbase, crying foul, seeks to blame the SEC regulator, says in a pushback against the lawsuit dismissal bid. I feel better and better for Coinbase's odds here. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's what this lawsuit with XRP kind of symbolizes. It's like going forward, now we have a case to refer back to when it comes to the whole crypto security, yada, yada, all these different questions we need answers to. So yeah, man, keep fighting the good fight. They have the money to do so. So does Binance. And I think the SEC is going to come out on the wrong end of this, and waste more time and money, on these witch hunts.
Yeah, for sure. He has been doing push-ups, Metapod. Okay, you've been spotting him. Okay, probably had to pull him up a little bit per lift. All right, let's talk about meme coin time.
Yeah,
HODL trade dump. We're gonna hold one. We're gonna trade one. We're gonna dump one. All right. So SHIB, XRP, and Doge adoption expands to 2 new U.S. states here. Canada-based platform FCF Pay has taken its page to the X platform to announce expanded the adoption of more than 30 cryptocurrencies used on his platform in the U.S. states, Idaho and Utah. So Idaho and Utah people. All right, let's look at the coins here. I think we have the market cap pulled up. All right, XRP, Doge, SHIB. All All right, if I'm gonna, let's just start with dump. We'll start with the negative one.
Yeah.
I have to dump one. Well, I just expressed interest in buying more XRP. I think it has to be SHIB, but it's not like I hate SHIB, and it's not like I don't think you'll make some money. I think it could be a 10x, within the next 18 months. Well, which one are you dumping of the three?
Well, I think the title of that article is calling XRP a meme coin. Someone's gonna get mad about that. I know that.
Yes. The community's seething right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All three I don't think are bad. I actually like SHIB is the only meme coin with an actual use case in the space, which it's their layer 2 in Shibarium. They have like the metaverse and many different parts of Shiba Inu. But if I had to pick one because of the risk factor, it would have to be SHIB.
Okay.
To dump. Yeah.
All right. So next up we have was it HODL, trade, dump. All right. So let's do the more bullish one, and then I'll leave the third choice. HODL. It's going to be between XRP and Doge for both of us here. Which one do I think is going to have more of an upside in the next 18 months, 24 months? I really feel like it has to be Dogecoin. A lot of people are saying Doge can hit $1. If it hits $1 from here, that is essentially an 18x, right around an 18x actually. XRP, I don't see hitting $9. I don't think Doge hits $1 either, but I definitely think it could do a 60 cent, which would be a 10x. I don't know if XRP can hit $5. So I'm going to HODL Doge. What about you?
That is a extremely tough one because the bull case for Doge is like Elon Musk saying nice things about Doge on the internet, and then maybe integrating Doge into some sort of payment system with X. XRP, on the other hand, obviously it could be integrated to our traditional finance system. So that's a tough one. But if I'm just short term, I'd say Doge because it could just literally send based off a tweet. And I know that's artificial, but I mean, we're here to make money, right?
All right. Well, great minds think alike. And then there's me and Rodney. We'll throw ourselves in there too. All right, let's talk a little Cardano. Do you like Cardano?
Cardano?
Cardano.
I love Charles
Cardanza?
Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson is such a good representative of cryptocurrency. That guy is
I like to call him
the man.
Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky, yeah.
Do you think Chucky will be on JRE in the next 12 months?
He better. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's that big yet.
Let's hope one day soon. Falcons. Anybody who's like in JRE's orbit, guy, you got to get the guy on there. He Falcons. Okay, that's a whole 30 minutes of your show right there.
Oh, he does Falcon. He's
Yeah,
Falcon
I mean, come on, man, come on. Bring him in the studio, fly around, land on Joe Rogan's bald head. All right, let's talk about Cardano here. Cardano beats all crypto projects in September developer activity. Specifically, this is according to Crypto Depp. This is a Johnny Depp / crypto fan page. Cardano is the leader on, a leader on the development scoreboard against all blockchain teams, having recorded 572 events on the GitHub repositories in September.
Hold on. If it's a Depp crypto place to find things, why aren't they covering shitcoins?
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. All right.
Moving on.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Which is why we needed SBF's trial filmed. All right. So here we have number 1 Cardano, number 2 Polkadot, followed by Chainlink, Hedera, Cosmos, Aptos, Avalanche, IOTA, Radix, and then eGold, now known as Multiverse X. Which of these, besides Cardano, and let's take out Chainlink. All right, we're taking out Cardano, we're taking out Chainlink. Which of these are you most bullish on?
I like Avalanche, but it is kind of sad to see them not working as much as the others. This is the perfect time to build in the bear market. The truth is, Big Daddy Ethereum is reigning supreme, and it might be that way for a long time. But it's nice to see these other, ETH killers or competitors putting in the work because you need dApps that people are going to use. Like that, you need them. That's what the lives or die. Doesn't matter if it's cheaper, faster, scalable. Doesn't matter. You need dApps that people are going to use.
I would probably, I do like Avalanche. I think the $3.4 billion market cap makes me want to choose something that's in the 1 range. Wouldn't be Aptos. I got to go with HBAR. This is for the HBARbarians there. I'm going with HBAR for mine. But it would be number 3 after Cardano and Chainlink. Closely behind them is Polkadot, then Chainlink, then HBAR, then Atom. So which of those, chat, do you like? Let's just show those coins one more time. Which is the most bullish in your book? Which one are you feeling best about? Let us know. Then we'll read some of the replies there. All right, well, it is time for the X Minute. I did do a tweet. I want to show off yours as well. Get your hot take here because we're based in Atlanta. You're down here in Atlanta. All right, Rodney, is Chick-fil-A overrated?
Absolutely overrated. Have you had their breakfast? Straight cheeks, not good.
Wow.
Better options if you like chicken, like was it Popeyes? I don't want to hear any of your comments in the comment section. Okay, I don't want to hear any of your comments. But I like Popeyes for chicken. It's good. Their nuggets are good, but I think they're overrated. Maybe the quality has gone down over the last couple of years, but my opinion.
All right, this is a fun little video. I don't know if you can hear it. It's only 12 seconds.
No, it's not coming over.
Everywhere you look, Band down, down, down.
I love that.
It's a heart, it's somebody who feels you. That was the whole thing. It was pretty funny. Just the way that guy like smiled at the camera.
Is that actually from the
That's
chord?
actually, yeah, I don't know why. Well, I think I think they're moving it. You know what I mean? They're adding some like, but I think the smile is real.
Yeah, if that smells real, like why is that guy in charge of like stringing up our past president in court? Like that's good.
We got Van Eck. I forgot who showed me this. Van Eck's been going savage mode on X today. Low volume, just like your JPEGs. Dang.
Jeez.
All right, shots fired.
Ouch.
Here's just a great breakdown of the ETFs here for SEC and the Gray School. Basically just engaging with the issuers to fine tune the filing. So these are there's an updated table of Bitcoin spot ETFs, dates and deadlines there. So if you want to, just a fun graphic, breaks it down. GM, everybody. Talking about SEC stuff. We like ran around here. Elon Musk paid 44. Here's the pitch deck if you want to see the pitch deck there. All right, so that's what we got here. Let's just click on this just for real briefly here. The Everything app. So yeah, definitely seems like they're trying to make the WeChat competitor there. Do you think will Elon succeed?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people, it's like one of those growing pain things, or like getting in like a new management. It's like sometimes you got to go through a little like, rough part to get to the good. And I think X is a breath of fresh air. And I don't think Elon's perfect. I don't think he's like a perfect guy, but I think he's taken this platform to in a good direction, because I see the pendulum swinging back from cancel culture and really censoring everyone hard back to the other side, where no one wants to be canceled for speaking their thoughts, right? Not really saying anything malicious or attacking anyone or threatening anyone, just sharing their thoughts and getting removed from a platform for doing that. So I think that X will definitely succeed at whatever it wants to do.
What's your Twitter? What's your X?
It's Crypto Journey RS.
Crypto Journey RS. Yeah, there's that guy that's trying to look like
There's
you.
a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of fake ones out there.
All right. So we're gonna go to yours as well. Any underscore?
Just Crypto Journey RS. Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead. Follow Rodney. Make sure you go follow Rodney here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see. Do you have any?
Wake up, baby.
All right. Meme, Gary Gensler's Uno game.
Got him.
Got him. Rodney, what's your thoughts here?
Weathered man right there. He looks a little distraught. Like
Is he wearing skin?
Probably joined a gang. Probably has a face tattoo.
That's the Crypt Keeper with like a makeup job.
Oh yeah.
All right. Live day. Yeah, you're putting out a lot of regular content. Which meme coin should I make a video on next? Well, which one is it going to be?
Well, I don't know. Whichever community gets the most engagement. You guys tell me. I don't know. You got to win.
All right. So you're a maniac when it comes to the tweets. You went hard 2 hours ago.
I always do that. Yeah. Twitter,
right.
Twitter, to me, X is the best platform for crypto promotion, and X is the best platform for getting crypto alpha, because everything hits there first. YouTube, it takes a while to make a video, yada, yada, yada. So that is definitely the best platform. There's my big old forehead in my hotel last night.
All right. And great video right here. Infiltrated Hit Network and met TJ.
They're holding me hostage.
Well, Rodney, I believe it's your last day here, right? You're gonna head back home.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
How was? I mean, if you just want to give a minute or two, like, how was the experience? Did you have a good time? Do you plan on coming back?
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and move here, man.
You know what? I think people, there's a lot going on in the news. We know what I'm talking about here. And I've been pretty outspoken on a lot of things. And if people who follow my channel know I don't say anything to please anybody. I don't care what other people think. It's a good place here. Everyone is happy to be here. This is like a creator cesspool. And everything you've heard on the outside is definitely just lies.
I have a question. So Charlottesville, I heard, is north of Richmond. Rodney, are you a rich man north of Richmond?
The song was about me, man.
It was about you.
About me.
Okay,
No,
so it was
I'm
about
not,
Saitama, the meme coin pumps.
I think it was about like in 1880 and stuff like that, with all the what are they called, the powdered wig guys? You know what I mean? I think he's referring to those guys. But
yeah, that guy fumbled the bag.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him, but that was a lot of fame all at once for the man. So he just was not ready for that. Yeah, I think chat thinks you did a great job. I think you did a great job. Definitely want to maybe try to make some more content in the future.
Definitely.
Let's get some stuff going. We're
100%.
following each other right now. We'll shoot each other some messages here. Guys, please hit the like button for Rodney. I think we had a great time. Hit the like button for pumpkin season. Spooky season's upon us. Are you going to dress up for Halloween?
Yeah, I'm going to stand on my porch as Jason and have a candy basket in my lap and scare little kids all day.
Will you do what Britney Spears did?
Oh, no,
With
definitely
the
not. Definitely not. Someone free Britney. No, she doesn't need to be freed. She's in the right place. Yeah. She was like my celebrity crush growing up.
My injured hand.
We got it.
Got me. All right. Well, folks, I think it's time. We had a great show today. Should we try to go? I don't think there's. Oh, well, there's one more Cardano news. This is an older story, but I do want to just show this as we end. A Cardano stablecoin project gambled away investors' money before the rug is Ardana. New evidence suggests that they may have lost investors' money in bad crypto trades. This is an old story. So 2021, they claimed that, hey, we got the new stable coin. It's called Cardano. But then they closed shop November of last year. I remember that. Yeah. But the blockchain detectives, they did their things, folks. It took them like 10 months, 11 months later. But they found some, basically, they did bad crypto trades there. So just, guys, you got to be careful out there. Don't gamble away customers' money.
That's an interesting note.
It's not that hard.
You're telling me someone got rugged in crypto? Is that what you're telling me right now? Someone got scammed?
Never. Jeez. All right, guys. This was a Can't Beat Christina from the Dirty video. Who remembers the Maxim magazine? Chief Santana thinks he did. Hey, Chief Santana thinks you did a great job. I agree with him. The court at the XRP case said even how the U.S. institutions can buy crypto without worry they have to use exchange or DEX to hide their identity. Great point there. The Algonaut. XLM or Cardano. For me, it's going to be Cardano. For you, XLM or Cardano?
Cardano, yeah.
Yeah, Stellar.
Sorry, Stellar.
We don't have anything.
Sorry, Stellar.
Everyone ready for the brown note today? Right, South Park episode maybe coming to life. Are they the new Simpsons?
They're making preppers look bad with those ridiculous claims.
It does. It does. All right. So what's special for the basement today, Drew?
We got a little video. We're going to have Rodney on, and we got a video from Jackie, who was on last week or 2 weeks ago. So Jackie sends us an awesome clip of her DGen news. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to be taking shots at everyone I can. So,
all right. Well, guys, I'm not 100%. I might not make it to ATB tonight. I don't know if we're going to do an episode today. So I might take a day off. I was in Vegas. I got the con crud, just taking all the pictures with all the strangers, touching all the old dirty machines. Maybe it came from, I'm not going to say his name. Who knows who it came from? All right. But guys, I had a great time.
Nick's hosting.
Okay,
yep.
So Nick's hosting. All right, guys, special. Oh my God, he's going to take it off there. It's going to be more like a blockchain bunker episode. So you're going to have a good time with that. All right, who is in the basement? We got Rodney. Who else, Drew?
We got Hannah, Owen, of course, and probably BJ. I think BJ. BJ's been working on the new some new stuff. So I don't want to say too much, but we got BJ in the lab cooking up.
All right, and people say we misspelled implode in the title. Is that true?
He's trying because we said explode, ready to explode. He's like implode because it's going to.
I got it. That was funny. That was actually funny. I was too dumb to get the joke there. All right, well, folks. Oh, it was savvy. If I even knew it was savvy, I would have expected some cleverness there. All right, that was a good one, Savvy. You got me. All right, well, folks, it's been a great episode. I think it is time, however, for me to skate into the bull run. Because damn it, all this news today has got me feeling more bullish than I have in a long time. XRP news is looking good. The SBF, we finally have a bad actor who's going to face some crimes. We got big whales, they're scooping it up. I'm feeling good for coming into 2024, 2025. Hit that like button if you're ready for that bull market. I'm going to go skate to the new age. Adios.